Alright, welcome to my tutorial for AM2R speedrunning. I say it's a tutorial for speedrunning, but really this video is just going to discuss the movement and the options, because those are the things you really need to know before getting into actually speedrunning the game. So regardless of which category you want to run, these techniques are going to show up and it's going to be good for you to know all of them. And also having good options is key to setting yourself up for a strong speedrun. So we're just going to go through that real quick. First, display options, VSync off. That's it. Nothing else really matters. But VSync off just doesn't add lag from VSync. So you don't want that. Sound, literally just your volume, doesn't matter at all. Controls are where it starts getting a little more interesting for the options. You can switch between zero mission fusion style or super style aiming. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you're more comfortable with doing, provided your controller has all the buttons. There are a couple more buttons for this game than there are for other games, so it's good to keep that in mind when you're setting your controls. Missile select style, again, fusion zero mission style or super style. I think zero mission style is a little better personally, just because there's a lot of scenarios where switching between missiles and beam is required quickly, and I think hold is a little better at that than toggle is. But other than if you're really comfortable with toggle, nothing wrong with using it. But if you're brand new to the game, I would recommend hold. If hold doesn't work out, just go toggle, whatever you're most comfortable with. Classic morph ball, I leave that enabled just because I'm really used to the double tapping down motion. You may not want that. That's okay. It doesn't really matter because we have a morph button in this game. Spider ball activation, you want either toggle or hold. Classic is an option, but classic's really slow and it makes it tough to get a lot of the spider ball things in this game. So toggle or hold. Personally, I use toggle, but whichever you're most comfortable with. Again, auto climb, you want to leave that on. Even it causes a bit of pain in some areas, but in other areas it saves you more than enough time to make it worth having on. Auto morph, I leave it disabled because there's one scenario where it's a bit of a pain and it's literally not used anywhere else, so it doesn't really matter. And then in your keyboard or joypad, however you're controlling the game, I use a gamepad personally. You can see from the overlay. The only thing you want to make sure you have are aim lock and morph. You want to make sure you have those accessible. Aim lock you need for the chorizo fight, and morph button makes things so much quicker because you don't have to stop moving to morph. And that's going to be very important for a good speedrun. So just make sure you can use those. This is my personal control setup, by the way, if that wasn't really obvious. Which, now that I say it out loud, it really was. But that's okay. As long as you have these two buttons accessible, you're in a good spot. Alright, so now we're going to get into the actual movement options. Alright. First thing we're going to do, we're just going to walk. You're going to notice walking is very slow. So the preferred mode of transportation in this game is morph ball. Morph ball's faster, and there's no reason not to morph ball initially. So okay, with that we're gonna start with our basic movement techniques. If you haven't played a Metroid game before, then that'll be fine because I'm not expecting any prior experience, but I will refer to other games and draw comparisons to them because it can be helpful for people who've played other games. So the first technique is the wall jump. Basically, jump into the wall, hold away from the wall, and then press jump. It's not that hard, just that. All there is to it. Just away, jump. Let me turn space jump off here real quick. Space jump's all the way over here. Away, jump. Look at that. Away, jump. Oh, too late. Away, jump. There we go. Away and jump. Yeah, easy, no problem. One thing about wall jumping in this game, you can wall jump out of a standing jump. That is, I think that's completely unique to this game, but it's good to know because it makes it easier to recover from failed wall jumps. So if you accidentally, if you unmorph and then do that, you don't have to wait to fall all the way back down before doing that. You can just, oh no, oh we're good. Just something like that. All right. And single wall jumping is also a thing in this game. If you've played Zero Mission or Super, you're going to be pretty comfortable with that, I would think. But same idea, just hold back towards the wall after you wall jump, and then you can just keep doing that. That is important in this game because it's single wall jumping up a wall is a lot faster than space jumping up it. And plus, there's a lot of scenarios where we use that before we have space jump anyway. So, all right. So if you've got the hang of wall jumping, power grip. If you haven't played Zero Mission, you probably won't be as familiar with that. Power grip. You shouldn't ever need to like shoot out of it like this, but it is an option. The thing about power grip is you can climb up ledges like that. That's really all there is to say about it. It's not that. There's nothing special there. Okay. Bomb jumping. All right. If you've played Zero Mission, bomb jumping in this game is almost exactly the same. It's a little different than it is in Super, but the idea is still the same. So the most basic bomb jump, just lay a bomb. Just after it blows up, lay another bomb. And then you can just single bomb jump up like this. I'll keep this going to the roof of the cavern so you can kind of follow along with the timing if you want. Tap it out, whatever you want to do. But there it is. Single bomb jump. The single bomb jump isn't that bad once you get a rhythm going. Double bomb jumping is a little more difficult because it doesn't have a consistent rhythm. There's kind of a stop in the middle of it. But the general idea for double bomb jumping, lay a bomb. As that bomb explodes, lay another bomb. At the apex of the jump, lay a third bomb. Then when the third bomb blows up, lay a fourth bomb. And then at the apex of that jump, lay a fifth bomb. And then just repeat that until you reach wherever you want to go. So here, I'll show that one for you guys right now. Oh boy. Okay, we're good. Didn't get knocked out of the way. This is almost exactly the same timing as double bomb jumping in Zero Mission. So if you've done that, then this will be pretty easy for you to pick up. Bomb jumping is really lenient in this game. There's a lot of room for error. And then I guess I'll touch on diagonal bomb jumping as well. Diagonal bomb jumping is kind of a pain in this game because of how much mobility you have. You can't just hold right, but that's kind of how it works. It's not actually important for the speed run. The only categories that even use it are low percent, and no one's actually finished a low percent because it's really, really difficult in this game. But okay. Space jump, wall jumping, bomb jumping. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna forget that. Okay. Neat thing you can do with bombs in this game is you can actually blow them up early with missiles. Play the bomb, shoot the missile, and the bomb blows up a little early. It's not that difficult. Saves a little bit of time over the course of a run. It'll save a lot of time. You can actually do it with once you get wave beam. You can do this with wave beam as well. Just jump up and shoot down at your bomb real quick, and they'll blow up. Alright, and this is actually a good place to show off auto climb. Basically, run towards a ledge like this, press jump, and you'll climb up it like that. So, here. And you can also use it to get into small spaces like that, rather than having to bomb jump into them. That's why we leave it enabled, because it saves that little bit of time. Okay. Another thing I want to mention. If you've played Zero Mission and Fusion, you'll know that if you're falling and standing, you can press A again and you'll fall respin basically. In this game, if you just press A, you'll just jump immediately. So that's just something to keep in mind. It doesn't come up all that often, but it's good to know. And then I want to spend a bit of time talking about speed booster related techniques as well. So if you've played Zero Mission or Fusion, speed booster is exactly the same. Just run, and eventually you'll start speed boosting. You can jump, and you can also, like every other game, you can crouch to store a Shinespark like that. So just press jump and you'll rocket straight up. If you hold a direction, you'll move in that direction. Now there's actually two types of Shinesparks in this game. There's half height and full height. Half height, tap jump, hold your direction, and you'll go. You'll notice how I was able to hit this slope with the half height Shinespark. Full height, hold jump, and press your direction, and you'll notice I went straight over the slopes. That does come up in a couple of spots. There's a few spots in this game where half height is necessary or full height is necessary, so it's good to keep those in mind. And then you can also ball spark in this game. Half height, full height. Same as regular Shinesparking, just do it in morph ball form. You need to have spring ball to do that. It's important to note. And any percent doesn't pick up spring ball, so you won't be able to ball spark in any percent. But 100% ball sparks a lot because you can use the spider ball to cancel out of the bonk animation. Here, let me show that to you again. There's the bonk animation. You wait like, I don't know, half, 3/4 of a second or so. Oops. But if you wow, okay. I guess I shouldn't talk and try to do anything at the same time. Alright. If you spider ball, you can cancel that bonk animation and save a little bit of time. But again, any percent doesn't pick up spider ball, so you don't see that technique in any percent. But it's very useful for 100%. And one of the other things you can do is you can continue space jumping. You can unmorph. You can break out of spin, keep your space jump momentum. You can morph in midair and keep your momentum. You can do that with both the morph button and double tapping down. So that's something that you'll need to keep in mind, because a lot of the speed booster techniques used in this game revolve around the speedball, which, if you've played Super and you're familiar with the mock ball, it's basically the same idea, just the timing is different. Like in Super, you would morph as soon as you hit the ground, but in this game, that's too late, and you do that. You need to morph before you hit the ground. The timing is actually fairly lenient, but like that's too high. See, if you do it too early or too late, you're going to screw it up. So that technique is used a lot in any percent and in 100%. And unlike the mock ball in Super, you can ball spark out of that. So that technique is what leads us to a lot of the intense speed booster tricks in this run. So I think here I'll show you guys kind of what you can do with those techniques. I screwed it up. That's okay. You can speedball down here, and then spring ball into a space jump here, speedball again, and you can cross that whole distance. You can cross all the way across that area in 10 seconds, compared to the 10 seconds it takes to traverse this room with the morph ball and the spring ball. So that's the sort of stuff that you'll need to get pretty comfortable with to get really good at speedrunning this game. So there's a lot of scenarios where that comes in, but if you can get the hang of it, you're most of the way there. So I think that covers all your basic movement techniques. If you have any questions or anything, just leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. But other than that, check back later and I'll start doing a walkthrough of the 100% route for this game. All right, peace.